morning and good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And thanks to Chris Stanley for allowing me to have 5 minutes and to talk about World Beyond War and a new group called Veterans for Peace.
Your mic up. Yeah.
I didn't know I was that tall. And to thanks also to Heather Rabinowitz for helping with these slides. The United Nations has estimated that it would take about $30 billion a year to end world starvation. That's about 3% of what the United States spends annually on war, the preparation for war, and military contractors. Another estimate is that it would take about $11 billion a year to provide the entire world with safe drinking water. That's 1% of what we spend on war. Each day, more than 20 veterans commit suicide. Our local chapter of World Beyond War, the Central Florida chapter, is dedicated to promoting peace, nonviolence, and alternatives to war. Our founding members include people you've heard of: Sue Michelson, Cindy Grossman, Larry Gilbert, Larry Berman, and David Yates. Cindy and Larry will be at the back exits at the end of this meeting with clipboards to sign up and get yourselves on the email list if you're interested in our clubs. In the past, our local chapter of World Beyond War covered these kinds of topics, and our next meeting, our next topic is on the impact of war and militarism on the environment. As you may know, Earth Day comes up on April 22nd, so on April 18th, we're going to talk about the damage that war and militarism does to the world in which we live. This month, we are meeting at the Churchill Rec Center at 3 p.m. Most times we meet at the Belvedere Library. Okay. The other item I want to talk about was how many veterans do we have in the room? Thank you. Veterans for Peace has been around since 1985, and we're starting a local chapter here. Some of our founding members include Larry Gilbert, Joe Flynn, David Yates, Stephen Urosevich, Don Hess, Paul Padillo, Ken Polish, Jack Robinson, Fred Balzer, and Jerry Scanlon. Next slide, please. This is why Veterans for Peace exists. And we work through, Veterans for Peace works through local chapters, and those chapters decide what the priorities are. For example, the 4th bullet point there discusses or writes or says to seek justice for veterans and victims of war. So next slide. So what does Veterans for Peace do? Veterans for Peace exposes the true costs of war. Those costs are economic, environmental, human casualties, PTSD, suicide, and social costs. Veterans for Peace works to build a culture of peace. Our society today finds violence acceptable. Our culture teaches us that war is noble. To build a culture of peace, we will need to not only end war, but also become a peaceful society. So some of the issues related to healing the wounds of war, the Veterans for Peace nationally has taken on projects like resisting the privatization of the VA healthcare, working with veterans who are suffering from Agent Orange, working with veterans who suffer from the Gulf War syndrome, working with homeless veterans initiative, working with veterans and active military to prevent suicides, working with GIs who are resisting and want to provide military or support for military personnel who take stands against the physical, psychological, and sexual abuse in the military. So as I said, our next meeting is at Churchill Rec Center at 3 p.m. and I hope you'll join us and I hope you'll sign up on if you're interested in our organization. Thank you.